Welcome to the Adrenal Fatigue Podcast with your hosts, Danielle Zees and Angela Rocchio. Balancing your hormones and overcoming adrenal issues can feel really complicated. Our mission is to break it all down in a simple way and offer you realistic solutions so you can get back to living the vibrant life that you deserve. Hello, beautiful listeners. Welcome back to the Adrenal Fatigue Podcast and happy 2023. First of all, it's just Danielle here today, and I'm so excited to be back bringing you something fresh, the start of the new year, something that can help you stay aligned, help you stay motivated, help you stay inspired and accountable to the goals and the intentions that you want to bring forth this year. So much is possible. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. Where the heck have we been the last half of 2022? Well, thank you for sticking it out with us, everybody. As a lot of you know, we are the moms of little ones, and the little ones still do require quite a lot of our attention and a lot of our energy. So we just had to prioritize, set boundaries, and protect our own energy. And with that came putting the podcast aside for a little bit. We're taking care of our clients, protecting our own adrenals, because let's be real, if the hosts of the Adrenal Fatigue podcast get adrenal fatigue again, and stop showing up, period, that would be a really ironic problem that we definitely don't want to have. So we figured if anybody out there understood the scenario, it would be you. So just a big thank you for sticking with us and for being understanding. The good news is that we're feeling great, we're back, and we've got some great stuff lined up for this year. So if you want to, you'll definitely be seeing more of us here at the Adrenal Fatigue Podcast. Let's make it a great year, everybody. So on today's episode, like I mentioned before, really want to share with you just a couple quick things that are so powerful, and truly implementing these 3 habits into your world on a regular basis does have the power to transform your life. I've seen it in practice. I've seen it in my own life, and I am just so excited to share these with you today. So at this point, I'm assuming that you've already done a bit of work at the start of the year to set some intentions, to set some goals, and think about what you want to create for yourself in 2023. And if you haven't got that far yet, that's okay. I do encourage you to take some time to map that out, lay out what you want to accomplish this year, what you need to do to get there, just so it's nice and crystal clear. So having these goals and having these intentions is really great. But one thing that's really important is that we have the right energetic alignment and we're able to tap into it regularly enough so that we can make those things actually happen. So here we are, we're already into the second week of January, which is crazy, but it's around this time where we might notice that those old tendencies start to creep up and we fall back to our old habits. So this is a great time to just really remember that we have control and empower ourselves. And I think that these 3 tips are really going to support you in that. So let's jump right in. 3 habits that will help you stay motivated, will help you stay inspired, will help you stay accountable to the goals and the intentions that you set forth for 2023. Number 1, I want you to create a ritual or routine in your day. And I'm not talking about a ritual or routine in which you're working on the things that you said you wanted to do, like exercising, meal prepping. Not necessarily that sort of routine at this point. This is more a ritual for you to align your energy, like I mentioned. And I want you to think about what would make sense to have in this ritual for you. It could be meditation, could be journaling, it could be making lists. But what it is, it's really something that makes you feel invigorated. It brings you back to your body. It makes you feel grounded and gets you into the right headspace for having a really great day and staying aligned to your goals and staying aligned to the things that you said you were going to do. So number 1, it's thinking about when is a good time for you to create this ritual, to create this routine. And number 2 is thinking about what sort of things you want to bring into it. This can be whatever you want it to be. So make it something that's juicy, really feel good, nourishing for your soul, and also just like something that fires you up to just go slay your goals. So the second thing is something that I would love for you to be able to bring into this ritual, because it's the idea of checking your energy and being able to coach yourself. So when you're sitting down and you're taking this time each day to channel your power, to remember your purpose, it's really powerful to check the quality of what your thoughts are like on any given day. So checking in with, are my thoughts today positive? Are they negative? How are they making me feel? Just checking in, what's the baseline of the thoughts? Because if they're negative, that is going to have a string of feelings, a string of behaviors, and a string of results that are going to follow. And same if they're positive, right? So some days when we are full of the positive vibes and the positive thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, and the actions just come naturally, and we're more likely to get those little results that we wanted to get that day. And the same is true, but in the opposite way if we're stuck in the negative. I want you to think about how you can coach yourself, especially on those days when you're finding that the thoughts, when you're checking in on them, are in the more negative. One really great thing is just write it down. Write down the negative thoughts that are coming up, these limiting beliefs. Write them down and think about, how does this thought make me feel? When I'm feeling these feelings, how does that make me behave? And if I'm behaving that way, what results from that? It really puts things in perspective to look at these thoughts, the feelings, the behaviors, and the results objectively, because you can see how they can sabotage you. And also, they don't feel good. So, if we have the power to change them, then not only are we going to feel better, we'll notice an energetic shift in the moment, but we're going to empower ourselves and bring our focus back to the positive. And that's a really, really incredible tool to have. This is neuro-linguistic programming, because we are literally reprogramming our brain when we do this type of work. And with that, I want to give a shout out to my dear friend, a mentor, and a coach to me, Mallory Meyer, because she is the one who showed me this exercise. And I will have to say that this was so impactful in my life. I literally saw results the very first time I did it. The ability to break down your negative thoughts, look at them objectively, and then transform them to positive ones and empower yourself is ridiculously valuable. So thank you, Mallory, for teaching this to me. Just side note on the adrenal side of things, when we're stuck thinking those negative thoughts, when we're stuck thinking those limiting beliefs, that creates that stress response in our body, right? Our brain feels it, our body feels it, and it can keep us burnt out if we get stuck there with these thoughts ruminating. So for a lot of reasons, not only hitting our goals, but just like how we feel day to day and our mood, this is really powerful. So I took you through the steps of exploring the negative, and after you do that, this is where we transform to positive. So you go consciously to a much more positive thought. When I say consciously, it's because typically the negative ones tend to come to us a little bit more naturally or unconsciously. So here we're consciously choosing something a lot more positive and we're writing it down. And then with that thought, go through the feelings, go through the behaviors, and go through the results that you get with the energy of that positive thought. And if we were disciplined enough to do this 3 sets every day, I think this has the power to transform our lives in the most incredible way. If you know me, I am a big believer that you can create the life of your dreams in any capacity, that no dream is too crazy, and like you can have your cake and eat it too. So I think that doing this type of work is how you create that life, because this is the mindset work that's going to shift you from the negative to the positive. It's going to empower you so that you don't get those results on the negative side. You get the results on the positive side. And even if you don't get them that day, you've attuned your energy to attracting it and you've had a better day. You've been in a better mood, and that will shine through in so many different areas of your life. The ways that you show up with your kids, the way you show up for your career, your relationships, even yourself. It's a beautiful thing. So your ability to self-coach, the ability to check your energy, bringing that into your ritual is absolutely huge. And now for number 3, one of my favorites is celebrating. I think so many of us, and especially in our community, there's a lot of type A personalities, and we tend to be pushers. So we're already always pushing for the next piece of our goal. But this is where I want you to slow down and celebrate the little wins along the way. And this is so important. You need to honor yourself. You need to honor the effort that you put in, and you need to honor all of the little things that you're grateful for and all of the little bits of progress along the way, because the little things add up to the big things. And this makes it fun. So think about how it works for you and your goals. It's going to look a little bit different for everybody, and it's going to depend on what motivates you, like what's a cool prize and how do you want to celebrate. But I like to have kind of different levels to this. So on a lower level, thinking, okay, if I meditate every day this week, or if I hit this goal today, I'm going to treat myself to a nice tea or a nice coffee tomorrow. So it could be like little things like that that just feel extra special because they're in celebration of something. But also look at the bigger things. Maybe at the end of the month, you treat yourself to a really nice facial or some body work, a massage. One thing that I've been loving is ordering fresh cold pressed juices from a local juicery and just filling my fridge with those. That's something that is a special treat, but also like nourishes me all week long, which I love. But thinking about the things that really resonate with you, could be something bigger. It could be a vacation, could be a weekend away, could be a date night. Think about what's fun for you and the little ways that you want to celebrate, but I want you to celebrate. And again, this is something you can be consistently checking in on when you do your daily ritual, right? So these three things that I'm sharing, they don't necessarily take a lot of energy. They don't necessarily need to take a lot of time either, but they do take some time and some intentions. So your homework, number one, I want you to think about what this ritual could look like for you. And I want you to bring in the self-coaching. I want you to bring in the celebration, but then the rest is up to you. What other little bits of your ritual do you want to create for your day that are going to help get you in that right physical, mental, and emotional alignment to make your goals happen? So number one, you're thinking about what this looks like, making a list of your special ritual and what it entails. And number two, when are you going to do it? Some people are morning people. Doing this first thing in the morning is going to align you for a great day. Go for it. Other people do better with this kind of stuff at night. So doing it at night and waking up, still carrying that vibration into the next day, that's a beautiful thing too. If lunch is the only time that you can squeeze it in, that's fine. But as long as you have it scheduled into your day at a time that you can be consistent with, really that's what's important here. So these three things are so powerful. I know that they can transform your life if you are able to be consistent in practicing them regularly. Ideally, you do these daily, but even if you just did them a couple times a week, I think you would notice a really big difference. I am so excited to see what is possible for you in 2023. Come connect with us on Instagram at the Adrenal Recovery Collective. And hey, if you have been struggling with your hormones, if you've been struggling with adrenal fatigue, burnout, consider our Fatigue to Fabulous program, because it really is the one-stop shop that you've been missing if you do want a clear roadmap on how to address these things in a really holistic way alongside fabulous coaches, and not that we're biased, but the most incredible community. So if you've been craving something like that and you're ready to just get a streamlined approach to balancing things out, come check out Fatigue to Fabulous. But in any sense, I really just want to thank you for listening today. It's been Danielle Zies of the Adrenal Recovery Collective. And until next time, I'm wishing you abundant health, happiness, and energy. Take good care, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for joining us today for another episode of the Adrenal Fatigue Podcast. We hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you did. And if you know somebody who's struggling with adrenal fatigue or the effects of hormonal imbalance or just chronic stress in general, share this resource with them. To learn more about the Adrenal Recovery Collective, visit www.theadrenalrecoverycollective.com or search the same name on Facebook.